Happy Sunday. Really good to be with all of you who tune in now and might tune in later. I my aim with these Sunday lives is to invite us to consider a different issue each week, or sometimes that'll be somewhat the same issue, but to consider it from a perspective we might not have thought of before, might not have thought of for a while. At least I find that gives me a phenomenal amount of freedom to do new things in my life. The most basic example of this, and in this ties into the challenge of being ourselves is for years I was ashamed so deeply ashamed of a core part of me, my voice, and I did a lot to shame really can do a number on us, can it? I was ashamed, so I didn't speak up nearly as often as I might have. Even with friends and family, I would want to ask them question after question to keep them talking, and probably that's because people fascinate me, but probably it was because I didn't want to have to speak, to have people hear my speech impediment. So when we consider the adage, "Oh, just be yourself," it sounds so simple, and it's a phrase that is fun to put a suit on, dress up a little bit, and then just say, "Hey, just be yourself, problem solved," right? Uh, Unfortunately, it doesn't. It's not that easy. Like maybe maybe you have experienced wanting to do a certain thing in your life, but then other people say, "Hey, if you want to make money, don't don't do that." No, I seriously mean do not do that. So maybe you chose a career not fully aligned with who you are, or maybe you love doing many things at once, but 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 you think you should only focus on one or two or three things at once to be productive. So you're limiting the amount you do to be productive. Or maybe you feel you have something going on in your life that you don't like, health wise, or maybe finances are hard, or maybe there's some relationship that's really causing you a lot of pain, and part of you thinks, oh, if I could just be myself and talk about this, it would be great. But then part of you doesn't want to do that, is scared of the ramifications, and think it thinks it might be inappropriate. That I have some notes. there's all sorts of things that can keep us from being ourselves. Maybe your part of you wants to make a Facebook Live where you're playing your guitar and singing, but because that's what you love to do. But then another part of you is mortified that people would see it and think think you're not that good, or that you would embarrass yourself or something else. It's I mention all this because I talk about all the time in my talks about how you are the best, and I mean that. That's totally in my book, right? You are the best. You in the world. You're the only person who has ever existed, ever will exist, who's totally you, and there's a lot of just brilliance to mine and bring out within yourself. There's a lot of brilliance to mine and bring out within myself, but to bring stuff out can be so challenging. So I have a few ideas for us to consider. Number one, savor the moments when you are yourself. Like when we approach so many problems, we think about the distance between ourselves and the solution, and go, oh, I have so far to go, and it can rapidly get overwhelming, and if we get too overwhelmed, we can talk ourselves out of doing anything. So savor the moments when you are yourself. Like, even if you're like, I feel like singing in the shower. No one's around, but I'm going to do it because I feel like it. And you do it, and it's fun. Savor that. Savor. Maybe you spend like 5 or 10 minutes doing a hobby that you haven't done in years. Like, back to the guitar example, maybe you pick up the guitar that you haven't touched for 20 years, blow the dust off, and you play for 10 minutes. And instead of saying, oh, I'm so out of practice, this guitar is so out of tune, maybe try being like, wow, I did something I love that I haven't done for 20 years. And you can say, wow, I want to practice more. I want to tune this guitar. We can both celebrate these small accomplishments and want to go further. We can both notice the best in something like, oh, I just did that thing that I haven't done for a long time. And also the imperfect, the things we want to improve next time. We can do so many things. It's amazing the options we have, and that's a side note, but it's important because part of being ourselves is choosing from among a huge and endlessly expanding number of options of what we could do with the time and what we could focus on, and it is often competing. It's not easy to navigate this life. It's just not. And an advice given simply like, "Hey, just be yourself," sometimes can be dispiriting because we can be like, "Oh, this is really hard," but maybe everyone else gets that advice and is like, "Okay, easy peasy." But I more and more I don't think that's the case. The more I see of myself and other human beings, the more I realize that we all struggle. Thanks for the love. That we all struggle. We all have challenges. We all are trying to figure this out. And it doesn't mean that life isn't really can be really good and very joyful, but it means life can be joyful and there's challenges. Our life can be hard and there's challenges. It part of becoming ourselves, and I'm formulating the thought. Part of becoming ourselves. eh, did I lose that thought? Did I lose it? Oh, please comment. I think I lost my thought. I'll get it back though. Oh, another hard part of becoming ourselves is the dance between ourselves and others. If the world was just me or it was just you and everyone else agreed with exactly what we wanted at all times, it might be very easy to be fully ourselves. But there's this there's always other people of it. We live in a world of 7 billion people and increasing every day. So the question becomes, how can we become more ourselves and play well with other people and respect other people? This is so challenging. As you consider this question, how do I become more of yourself? I urge you to consider that I urge you to consider that we don't know fully what we can become yet. We're still exploring our lives. You are your best. That is true for the reasons I described. But you and I are also learning how to be a best. We are hopefully learning more about ourselves each day. So I urge you to amplify it by asking yourself, what's the small things I can do to explore my life, to step out of the routine, to say, I always think this, but what if I consider this? How would it change things? Does it feel better or feel worse? And just explore, experiment. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing like quitting your job and moving to South America and starting a new life to explore something new. There's micro explorations we can do every day in our home, in our work, just minor routine changes into having a new idea and instead of pushing it to the side right away, be like, what would this be like if I pursued it a little bit? Maybe I only want to pursue it for 5 minutes, but still, 5 minutes of exploring is 5 minutes of exploring. This stuff is so exciting to me. I hope you get excited about it too. But that's me. Maybe you find this stuff boring at the moment, uh, and that's okay. If you find it boring at the moment, that's part of being you and noticing your reactions to what is being talked about. Oh, the last thing I want to share on the subject of being yourself is the concept of turning limits into gifts. This morning, as I was waking up, I was thinking, Jason, you have so many ideas. You are now working with so many people. You have your foot in so many different things. I don't know if that's the right metaphor, but anyway, I'm a speaker. I want to speak to schools, businesses, churches, people like me who have disabilities, the staff. I'm an artist, a writer, but not only a writer, a poet, a photographer. It just goes on and on and on. And I was starting to feel ashamed of that core part of myself. I mean, I've tried. A lot of really brilliant people say, dude, or they might not use the word dude, but they say niche down, focus on one thing. And I've tried that time and time again, and I keep wanting to focus on lots of things. So rather than lament the limit of wanting to focus on so much, how can I turn the thing that keeps appealing to me, wanting to focus on so much, wanting to do so much, and focus as I can on each thing? How can I turn that into a gift? If this is a core part of who I am, how can I say, how can I embrace it and use it as an asset in my business, in my life? Use it as an asset to help other people, and instead of saying, "Oh, I'd be so successful if I don't want to do so many things." I mean, our characteristics, our personality, our talents, any one of them can be used as a burden or seen as a gift. Practically, practically anything in life, like even water, is a gift to have good water to drink. But if I drink like some insane amount like 5 or 10 gallons at once, it would turn into a burden. I could get physically ill because I overdrank. And think about that in terms of what you think is limiting you. Eh, And think, oh, I've been using this thing in my life in this manner, and I've experienced it as limiting me, and I felt this way about it, and these are the results. What if I start using this thing in my life in another way? What if I start experimenting with it, and what if I start exploring that? In the in these in exploration like that is profound. If I had never been prompted by my friends, and especially my good friend Ina Lucas, to examine and use my voice as a gift, I might be living a very different life right now. It's It's both amazing how much freedom and power we have to make positive changes in our lives, and how easy it is to lose sight of that we have that power. Imagine if Superman had the power to fly and do all the other super things he does, but he forgot his powers, so he was just always walking around kind of mopey, seeing all the stuff happen that he wanted to change, thinking I don't have any power, I can't do anything about that. Then one day someone reminds him that, hey, Superman, there's a reason why there's a super beat for your name. You can fly, you can do all these things. And at first, Superman's like, no, gosh, what are you talking about? But then he's like, oh, what the heck? I'll just try flying, and he can fly. And then he remembers all the other things he can do, and his life changes. Not because he's fundamentally a different person, but because he's remembering his talents and for the developing them. Oh, I do get passionate about this. Thanks for listening. If you have any comments, please, I would love to hear from you. And this all, as I've said, can get overwhelming. Just be, Jason's reminding me to become more and more myself. I'm already doing a thousand things. Thanks, Jason. Thanks a lot. But this is good for us to remember. Walking 10 steps in the direction you want to go takes you farther towards where you want than walking 1,000 steps in a direction you don't want to go. And I'm thinking of this more and more when this concept more and more when I begin feeling overwhelmed and like I have to walk those 1,000 steps in the next 10 minutes, or else I'm a bad person or whatever. We don't have to do it all at once. We don't have to do it in the next week. We don't have to do it in the next year or the e- next 20 years. We have our whole lives to figure this stuff out. So every step you take in the direction you want to go is a victory. Every time you do something that you love, you feel like I'm doing something that makes me more myself. Every time you do that, even for 5 or 10 minutes, that's a victory. And if you're saying, Jason, I don't want the 5 or 10 minutes stuff. I have 5 hours today to do what I love. Why are you limiting me? I'm not. I'm not. If you can do what you love and become more yourself for 5 hours today, for heaven's sakes, do that and celebrate that you have the time. But if you're overwhelmed by all that's going on, by job, family, and all that, even 5 minutes, even 10 minutes of doing something where you feel more yourself is amazing. Even watching this video and thinking this way is a step forward. Oh gosh, it's so awesome to be passionate. I feel just great as I talk about this, and I'm saying that at this moment because when I was trying always to be someone else, someone without a speech impediment, someone without coordination differences, part of the cost of that is I wasn't passionate about being someone else. Yes, I went through the motions because I thought I should be someone else, but I wasn't passionate about it because it wasn't me. It wasn't. I wasn't drawing my unique best out of me. Oh well. I wasn't drawing my unique best out of me. We are all works in progress. What I'm talking about is something we'll be working on for the rest of our lives. And this discussion matters extremely to our lives, but also it matters to people we'll never meet. And I was on a drive where I took photos in some small towns yesterday, and I saw this one. If you can't see it, see the image of me get out. It's Benjamin Franklin, and it's a sticker on a business that some sort of endorsement. But just think if Benjamin Franklin had wanted to had the thoughts of inventing all the stuff and only to say, oh, these inventions. I mean, I had this idea of flying a kite in a thunderstorm. Who does that? Who does that? It sounds ridiculous. Flying a kite in a thunderstorm and attaching a key to that. Come on, Benjamin, get practical. Get practical. You have a family, get practical. But luckily he had the courage to fly a kite in a thunderstorm and attach a key to it. And now I'm not at all suggesting you do that. We already know what happened what happens if you fly a kite in a thunderstorm and attach a key and do it? No need to do it again. But becoming ourselves, pursuing the ideas and dreams we want not only for ourselves but for humanity. Not only does it greatly enhance the quality of our own life and the quality of lives of our lives and the quality of the lives of our family and friends, as the Benjamin Franklin sticker reminds us. It can enhance lives for countless generations to come. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for considering these ideas. I love expressing ideas and perspectives. Not so everyone agrees with me. But so people have a chance to consider things that may possibly be new to them. And I just love. Why am I shaking my head? I just love. No. I just nodding. I just love any chance to speak. So if you know of a school or business, a church, an association that could benefit from my message, just put us in touch to have a conversation. I mean, don't put us in touch for them to hire me. You don't even. I mean, who knows if it's a good fit or not? But I urge you to put us in touch so we can have a conversation, get to know each other, and determine if it's a good fit or not. And if it's not a good fit, hey, we've just had a great conversation. Well, you are the best you in the world, and you are learning, and you are in the process of learning and growing too, just like I am. So I wish you a wonderful week. Please tune in on Wednesday to Awkwardly Awesome podcast, where I'll be interviewing my grade school friend Lamont, who is now a brilliant artist and animator, and he has just so inspiring. So please tune in and have a great Sunday. Take care. Should have timed that better. Take care. Have a great